Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our spring tea party brunch virtual cooking class. I am Charlotte, your chef host today, and joining me as our chef moderator host is Scott Tompkins.
Hi, I'm excited to be here. By the way, side note, do you know it's National Tea Day? Today is National Tea Day.
I did know that.
So I hope you have a happy Darjeeling. Or is it Earl Grey?
Earl Grey.
Or maybe you're a matcha
I'm a
gal.
green tea person.
You're a green tea?
I'm a green tea.
All right, what was the matcha you called it?
Matcha.
The sovereign matcha?
No,
What's
ceremonial grade.
Ceremonial grade matcha, sovereign
Like
matcha.
delicious high-end matcha. And sometimes you can froth it and make a little latte out of it.
There you go. So happy Tea Day. I'm excited. I lost my tiara. I was excited for the tea party. I don't know where I put it. I was doing dishes. I don't know where it is.
It doesn't matter. You don't need a tiara to be invited to this tea party brunch. And because I knew this class actually fell on National Tea Day, that's why we're doing a tea party.
I love it.
So and then we threw in spring in there, right? So
that's right.
Yeah.
Side note, real fast.
Yeah.
Charlotte, will you pick up that fantastic glass that you have your Tepache in? It's a flute. Those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, we're so happy you are here to join us. If you're watching on Facebook, there's this thing called shoppable. Things are shoppable. So that little flute she's holding in her hand, you can actually click on that. You can pay for it, buy it, and be drinking along with us while we're doing our class. If you missed something and want to check out all the classes, if this is your first time ever watching this, congratulations, welcome. We're so happy you're here. We like to have a good time. Don't take food too seriously. If you want to check out more content,
I feel like I need to be going like this.
YouTube. The windows and exits are on your left side. YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/HEB. And to find out more great content, you can simply go to our classes website, which is HEB.com.
Is it down here?
Classes. And your exits are here and here. Please keep your hands inside the feet at all rides. Okay. And go, Charlotte.
And go. Okay, so spring tea party brunch. So the recipes that we are going to do today are all about tea parties, or what I consider a tea party. I'm sure there's an English person out there that is like, nope, you are doing it wrong. But we're going to make a strawberry basil scone with a little balsamic butter. We're going to make a nutty carrot deviled egg, which is really fantastic, and it showcases one of our Quest for Texas Best winners, the nutty carrot spread. It's super good. We're going to do a cucumber tea sandwich, which is really just like fresh and delicious, and we're going to use smoked salmon in this recipe. If you're not into smoked salmon, turkey or chicken or ham or whatever, or just no animal protein at all is perfect for this. And then because it's brunch and I need a reason, actually I don't need a reason, I thought I would make a little boozy drink. So we're going to do a Tepache elderberry fizz, which is a play on a French 75.
But wait a minute, I'm not a cocktail guy. What is a French 75?
A French 75 is essentially a mimosa, so it's champagne, a little bit of OJ, and some elderflower, some Saint Germain, right?
Saint Germain.
Right, which is super fantastic. But the tea component in that is actually our Tepache. Tepache, which is a fermented pineapple beverage from Mexico. We actually, ours is actually kombucha based, right? And so in that kombucha, it's actually that tea with the SCOBY. And then we add, so it's in that Tepache style. But that's the tea component to our tea party. So
I like it.
It's
a tea party.
It's a tea party, but also I needed a cocktail because it's brunch. All right, so we're going to get started, and what we're going to get started with first, we're going to start with our deviled eggs. And so I want everyone to follow me over to the stove. All right? I have one pot. We are cooking one thing today on the stove, all right? So in front of me, I've got some cold eggs, and I've got some water, a shallow pan with water, and I'm going to take my eggs, and I'm going to put them into this pot.
That's our K&T pan.
This is our, I love this pot. This is actually perfect for hard-boiled eggs. And what we are going to do is we are going to, this water is a little bit warm, but we are going to bring this water up to a boil. Once it starts boiling, and I'm talking like a rapid boil, once it starts boiling, we are going to put the lid on it, turn the heat off, and give ourselves a timer for 12 minutes, all right? And that is if your eggs are cold. If your eggs are room temperature, go about 10 minutes. And this is going to give you the perfect hard-boiled egg, the perfect consistency for the filling. The white is going to be nice and firm. Now, you're also going to have a bowl of ice on the side, right?
So ice bath ready to go.
Ice bath ready to go, because once these guys are done, after our timer goes off, we are going to put these into an ice bath, and that is going to, wait, I'm not supposed to do that. Shock them and stop the stop the cooking process. So
Stop the cooking
Tompkins, your
process.
job is to pay attention to my eggs
Okay.
and make sure that I
12
don't.
minutes.
12 minutes, okay?
So for those of you who live your life second to second like I do, we're gonna set our timer. 720 seconds is your 12 minutes. I like to live second by second. Seat of my pants. All right, I'm excited.
All right.
Hard-boiled eggs.
Hard-boiled
can be mysterious
eggs.
for some folks. It's actually really easy to do.
Okay. So what we are going to do now is we are going to move into our scones.
scone?
We're going to do our scones. I forgot what I was doing for a hot second. I was drinking the Tepache fizz earlier.
You were.
Just
That's
kidding,
all right.
I wasn't. Okay, so what we're going to do, what we are starting with is going to be our butter, all right? This is a crucial step. So what I have in front of me is some frozen grated butter, all right? And I'm going to show you how I did this. Literally, this is one of the most important steps in making scones. The method that we're going to use to make scones is very much like a biscuit, right? And we are going to actually use the biscuit method where we cut the butter and flour together. And I'm going to show you really quick what this looks like.
So you're going to grate it. Yeah, and it's funny because when we do baking, it's either all the ingredients are room temperature or all the ingredients are ice
And so
cold.
look at this, just like this. And I'll show you and
This
see.
definitely helps, folks, if your butter's frozen or really, really cold.
Yep, for sure. Okay. And you can always do refrigerated butter and then just put it in the freezer. But it's really, really important to have your butter as cold as possible because what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the consistency very much like sand. So I want to show you real quick. Let me grab some flour. I'm going to show you what we're doing.
So we're going to cut it in. Yeah, biscuit method, everything is cold because you don't want things to be weeping right as you're baking it. You don't want the butter to kind of melt out. Then you've got this big pool of oil in the bottom of your scones or biscuits. You want everything really cold. Flour, everything remains cold, so everything just kind of stays. And then when it hits the oven, the steam releases.
And that's where you get the
Creates the
puff.
leavener, the
Yep.
puff, yep.
Same thing like we would do if we were making like a puff pastry, or if we were making a biscuit, or even that flaky pie dough. So you would just take your butter, your flour, like this. And I'm using equal parts whole wheat flour to all-purpose flour. I know the recipe says 2 cups of whole wheat. I was just in the last minute I decided to be creative. But whole wheat works 100% perfectly. The recipe was designed for that. And then you just take your butter.
I like the nuttiness of wheat flour.
I really like the bite of the wheat flour in the scone, right? And
little more
scones are
texture.
naturally or typically a little drier than a biscuit, a little more crumbly. So I think the whole wheat plays up to that. Okay, and then with your hands, all you're gonna do, and you can use a pastry cutter if you want, you can use a fork.
Once you shave it, though, once you like grate
Yes.
the butter or shave the butter, it's so much easier to
It
cut
really
into
is.
flour.
The
You
warmth
don't-
of
it
your
doesn't take as long.
hands, the warmth of your hands is going to allow some of that butter to melt a little bit, and you're encapsulating all of these, all the little molecules with this fat. And then as we roll this out and cut it and layer it and roll it, we create these little pockets of butter. And I think you said that, right? I was over
Yeah.
there in the freezer and couldn't hear
Little
you.
pockets, yep, it creates that little,
Yes.
and obviously
Okay.
the water and the butter creates the steam.
Yep, the steam from the flour. Okay, so when you're done, you're gonna look like something like this, all right? Let me move that out of the way.
Oh, and that's one of our K&T borosilicate
Our
bowls.
borosilicate
you were
bowls.
wondering.
And so it's going to look like wet sand, right? So you can see some particulate of butter, and that's okay, totally fine. But then the rest of that butter has been incorporated into this, into the flour. And keeping it cold is also really important because we're not allowing any of the water. We're not separating the water from the fat. And so it's not activating the gluten or the proteins in the flour to create that stretchy sort of thing,
That's
right?
right.
So you want it like, you can squeeze it and it stays together. This is absolutely perfect right here, all right? I'm gonna dust my hands off. All day I've had flour all over my face. Okay, so next to this, we are gonna add in our baking powder and baking soda. A good rule of thumb is gonna be 1 teaspoon of chemical leavener per cup of flour. And that's a good rule of thumb for like biscuits or cakes, things like that. Since I'm using 2 leaveners, I've got baking soda and baking powder, I'm using 1 and 1, right? So we got 2 cups of flour. So I'm gonna throw that in there, kind of stir that around a little bit. Right here are my frozen strawberries, and I actually used fresh strawberries because it's peak season right now. If you're making this in like January and you don't have, You don't have the fresh strawberries, which
Frozen strawberries.
Frozen strawberries work perfectly. And what I did is I just lightly tossed these in flour.
To keep them from all that liquid
From
kind of
absolutely. So what happens is, as these cook out, what's going to happen, or just as they warm up, they naturally release all the water that they have, and that can make your pastry sort of doughy and like not done, and they don't rise so well. So the flour gives you a little bit extra insurance. So as that fluid or water comes out of the strawberry, it's going to like encapsulate it and catch it, right? So we're going to add.
It's also good to have that whole wheat flour is really thirsty. It'll hold a lot of moisture.
It will. So because of that, I added an egg to this recipe, which you typically don't find in a scone or a biscuit, but it gives us a little bit of that, of little insurance, but also it adds this like muffin note to it, which I really, really like. So I've added in my sugar right here, so it's a half a cup of sugar. I've got my...
all the dry ingredients you're adding your wet now.
Got my egg in here. I've got my... So I'm using Mexican crema, which is one of my absolute favorite things in the world. It's like halfway between sour cream and like heavy cream. I'm a big fan of this.
And it's salty too. It's got a little salty note.
And I really like how it, I like the consistency. So it's a little bit looser, right? I'm a big fan. Okay. So I'm going to put this in here.
Blending everything in.
Yep.
If you're just joining us, it's all about the Tea Party Brunch. It's
How are my
National
eggs?
Tea Day.
Are my eggs boiling yet?
It's all about no, they're in a good pat. That's a great shot, Rob. Look at that.
All right.
On the stove, it's just barely bubbling.
All right, we're gonna do a little vanilla.
Tarkington, Texas, Colorado Springs, Austin, and Florida, all watching right now
wow.
on Facebook. Welcome,
us.
everybody.
And then, of course, we're gonna do a healthy pinch of salt. Okay,
Always.
I'm gonna mix all these things together. I'm gonna add in my straw babies. That's what we call them in our house.
It's that season. The poteed strawberries right now.
Peak season, yeah.
They're plentiful.
If you wanted this to have a little bit more of that like intense strawberry flavor, you could add in a tablespoon or so of jam. But I'm gonna save my jam for the butter. I'm gonna add the jam into the butter. I think these strawberries are so sweet and so like they have like that essence of strawberry. Like if you were to close your eyes and think of a strawberry. Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, so during like, a not peak season for strawberries, using frozen strawberries, maybe they're not as flavorful. Throw a little strawberry jam in there to kick it up a bit.
All right, so now I've got my basil, and you don't have to be like super precise with this, but
if you're doing a tea party, like a traditional English tea party, should we call it basil?
A basil? A basil? I can't. Basil. I'm not going to do that to myself. Sounds silly. Let me grab a knife. Oh.
So rough chop on that.
This recipe is actually really great if you have those strawberries that have been hanging out in the back of the freezer,
but not zombie
or the refrigerator.
Right? No fuzzy.
No
green.
fuzzy stuff, but like the ones that are just a little bit, just a smidge, kind of like dried out, and
they start to turn that like alcoholic kind of like smell to them. They get a little.
Oh yeah, they start fermenting. Those are the ones. Use those. All right, so I'm just like rough chopping this basil. All right.
I love basil and sweets. I know it's weird, but I do love
it's
basil.
It has a sweet note to it. And just so you know, this time of year, I actually like to use strawberries in my caprese salad instead of tomatoes because they're so like, they're acidic but sweet. Okay, so with my spatula.
You're going to mix it all around?
I'm just mixing.
Chef Cheryl from Pennsylvania said she loves these tips. Is very thankful. Last week
Cheryl.
in the class, we talked about going to Canada and doing like a road trip, and I think we're going to put Pennsylvania on there.
We're going to go see Cheryl now.
We're going to go see Cheryl. Cheryl, you're on the list.
You made it.
Vicky asked, table salt or kosher salt? Chef?
I use kosher. That was a great question. But whatever you have closest to your hand will work.
Yeah, kosher's great for, I think, quick breads. When you look into starting into the yeast breads where you're trying to really form gluten and do stuff, you can always use like a finer like sea salt or like table salt.
All right, I'm going to put some gloves on just for the movie magic because I don't want to get my hands all
Those are the perfect gloves
funky.
for a tea party.
But they are, right? They are. But this is a great place. Like, this is where I would get kids involved. Like, if I was doing this with my kids, like, this is the part. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to kind of mash this together. I'm not going to stir it. I don't want to overmix it, but I just want everything to come together. So I kind of come from the bottom and pull it to the top and kind of pat it in.
That's what's great about scones and biscuits is you really do have to kind of work it in to kind of, because you don't want too much to where they're soupy. That's not what you want. You want them all just able to hold their shape.
Exactly.
But not so dry they're kind of crumbling, but just in that,
Exactly.
that beautiful mix in between.
So there we go. So we're kind of like, it's sort of forming a loose, crumbly dough, which is exactly where we want to be. I am standing on my tippy toes right now.
Are you?
Yeah, because I feel like this thing got taller.
Do we need to get you an apple box,
I think
Chef?
I need an apple box. I'm trying to get some leverage. Okay, so I feel really good about where we are here. I'm going to get a little bit of flour.
I need to get you see, normally, because I'm a little taller in the 6'4" range, I usually have to shrink down.
I know, I just feel so short right now. Okay, so what I've done is I've floured my workspace, right? And then I'm just going to take this guy.
All right,
Perfect.
earlier we had a question about this.
Yes.
Flouring. And I think people get nervous when you say flour a board. They're worried that if you add too much flour, you're going to mess up your ratio. And you're not talking about adding 2 cups of flour to the board. You're just dusting it so it doesn't stick.
Exactly.
And I would say a minuscule amount.
A minuscule amount. So what you can see is right now, same thing. There's pockets in here that haven't completely come together. I was like, oh, it's formed enough. I won't mess my hands up. I'm going to
you're
wash
good.
my hands.
It's all good.
Okay.
It's not ready to eat yet. We have to bake it. It's all food safe.
Okay, here we go. All right. I'm making a little bit of a mess, but I'm okay with that. All right.
Kim wants to know, do you want to refrigerate the dough before baking?
That's a great question, and you can, but you don't necessarily have to. In fact, you can freeze these and bake them at a later time, but that's a great question. Okay, so I've formed it into like a rough disc. We've pretty much stuck together. I'm feeling really good about this. I'm going to cut this guy in half. I'm going to fold it over, right? And this is how we're going to start to create our layers, right? So very much the way Tompkins does the book fold with his biscuit. We're doing the same thing, only with the biscuit. So I'm going to cut it again. I'll go back over this way. See how creating some layers. Now, if you're like me and your hands are warm, so warm hands, cold heart.
I have the same problem, Chef.
What you could do, just like Kim said, you would put this guy into the freezer and let everything come back up to temperature. But you know what?
I think you're good. I think it looks
I feel like we're going to do it.
Again, you bought yourself some insurance because you had everything really cold when you started, so you had the natural temperature.
I'm going to wash my hands real quick, guys.
Up. But it's a really simple. So we're working on the Tea
How
Party
are my
brunch.
eggs?
Hey, if you missed something, the eggs are still good. Rob's going to show you in a second. Wait for it. Wait for it. It's coming. If you've missed something, don't forget, go to our YouTube channel. There's a lot of great content on there. Great content on Charlotte just said the biscuits.
Can you rewind it in real time? Can you rewind me in real time?
Yeah, I just rewound you. We just did. Rewound. YouTube.com/HGB. Check out all the stuff. There is no going back, Chef. This is a live show.
This is a live
no cue
show.
cards, no teleprompter. We just fly
teleprompter.
Live.
I could have used my rolling pin the whole time. I don't know why I did.
You know what? Because sometimes you just got to show the rustic way to do things. If somebody doesn't have a rolling pin, you show them, hey, just as easy to do without.
Right? There you go. I got my sheet pan right here.
So the shape for a scone, Chef, or a scone?
Which one, what are you looking for? Is it a scone or a scone? I really don't know.
We need somebody from England to weigh in on this.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody from England, pronounce this for us.
Leslie said your strawberries look gorgeous. They do.
They do, really right? Okay. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to cut this into pie pieces, right? And so the shape is typically triangular, right? And they have those round, rough edges. So I'm going to give myself 8 pie pieces.
That's look at this. You go to Charlotte's house, you're not getting a tiny mini scone. You're getting a whole giant. You're getting a big piece. This is like gonna feed you.
I'm gonna feed you at my house. Okay, so I'm gonna just throw these guys on here, and you can do them any way. There's no right or wrong way to do it. You can put them on the sheet pan in the round. Just know it's gonna take longer to bake. Yep. So I like to give them a little bit of space.
They look great.
Thanks,
they got all that they've got so many inclusions, Chef.
Oh my gosh, they're so good. And the egg that I put in here gives it a little bit of like I said, like that muffiny kind of crumb to it, which is really great. So see how they're getting a little weepy? We could put these in the freezer or the refrigerator, and that would help out a lot. But we're going straight to the oven.
I believe in you, Chef. I think we got this.
I think we got this too. But that was a great call out.
These scones are going to be bulletproof.
Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit more crema. I've added a little bit of strawberry jam to this to give it that little strawberry flavor and a little bit of glaze. But I'm going to glaze these with extra crema.
I'm a big believer in this. Typically, any baked good I do, whether it's biscuits or whatever, I usually do equal amounts egg yolk and heavy cream. I'm telling you.
Oh, you do
up.
egg yolk and heavy cream?
Oh, mama.
I added some of that strawberry. I'm just
No,
going.
that's good. Hey, that's anything you can do that's going to give a little extra flavor. The fat's going to help brown the tops. It's just you want flavor in every single bite. Exactly.
And then you could do like fun stuff like put some sparkling sugar or like pearl sugar or whatever. Okay, preheated oven. We're going. My oven is super hot, so I'm gonna go about 350. But 400 degrees is a great temperature for this. And we're gonna go about
20 minutes.
25 minutes on that. Are we boiling it?
Minutes?
What is the deal with the eggs?
25 minutes.
All right, 25 minutes. Does
For
anybody
those of
have any
us that
questions?
live our life second by second, that's 1,500 seconds you're going to want to count.
Is everybody all right out there in TV land?
They're good. Everything's so far so good, Chef.
So far so good. Can't complain.
25 minutes is set on my timer.
Okay.
1,500 seconds.
Okay.
Countdown begins
So
now.
far, we've got our eggs on the stove and they haven't boiled yet. You're making me look.
I think you need to turn up our 78,000 BTU stove. Get the spurs to those eggs.
Okay, get a fresh cutting board out here. Okay, so while that's happening, I feel like maybe we should make some tea sandwiches.
Let's make the cucumber
eggs
tea
aren't
sandwiches.
quite ready
I've
yet,
never had a
so-
cucumber tea sandwich. Do you know
You
that,
haven't
right?
ever had a cucumber tea sandwich?
I've had every other sandwich. I've told you I've never been invited to a tea party, so I can't. I've never had the cucumber tea
Never
sandwich.
had.
Can't believe I
cucumber
lost
tea
my
sandwich.
tiara. I was so excited about this tea party, wearing my tiara for you, and I lost it somewhere.
Okay. Are they boiling? I feel like that's a boil.
Let's check.
I
We'll
feel
check
like this
and
is a
see.
boil.
Yeah, you're at a hot simmer, Chef. You're almost at that 212 boiling temp.
Give me your thermometer.
Throw
it
to
at
you.
me.
Throw
Do it. Come on.
Don't break my Thermapen. It's really.
He's really gonna
come
throw it.
over.
Don't
Come
throw it.
closer.
You're gonna- okay.
Come
All right.
closer. Ready?
Okay. It's
Oh,
a
gosh.
lot of camera
A lot of things
equipment.
could go wrong.
Yes. Rob kind of flinched. He's like, "Please don't hit my camera."
I was
okay.
worried I was going to knock over your Tepache fizz.
Oh, we're at 209. Okay, wait. Oh, come on.
Amanda says, take a fizz
Okay.
break, Chef. You're moving a lot. Take a fizz break.
Okay, here we
Take
go.
a big swig of your Tepache fizz.
All right. We turned off the heat. Lid goes on. Timer for 12 minutes. All right.
12 minutes.
Okay.
Got it. That's what we're doing.
That's
we're
right.
doing,
Okay. So in the meantime, we are going
720
to
seconds.
make some delicious tea sandwiches. All right. So, has anybody been to a tea party? Has anyone had a little tea sandwich?
This is my first one. I'm very
It's
nervous.
your first one.
I don't know about everybody else.
You know
This is
how
my
the
very
bread is
first.
really thin and doesn't have any crust on
Yeah.
it? I am using the Bear bread, which is like the perfect. This is perfect.
Angels make that
Yes,
stuff.
this
in
is
Italy.
made.
Yeah, it's cool.
So this bread it's made in France, and it has no like artificial colors, none of that, no artificial
Wait,
flavors.
is it
but
France or Italy? Is
it-
it Italy or
I think
France?
it's France.
Is it? I
don't
it's
know.
made
Don't
somewhere
make
where
me
they have
look
lasers
bad.
to cut crust off
No,
the
it's a
bread.
product of Italy. I lied. I'm sorry. Okay,
We're
so
close.
when we first, I first saw this product, I was like, this is embarrassing, but I'll tell you guys, it makes for good TV. I thought we were like, look at HEB. We figured out a way to bake bread without crust.
It's called. We have a bunch
No,
of. We employ a bunch of
didn't figure that
magicians.
out.
It's a wizard. We have a wizard tower, and we take the bread from the wizard tower.
I was like, they must steam it so there's no caramelization on the outside. I was seriously like, I went through every scientific reason of why it didn't
Yeah.
have crust. We just cut it off with lasers and
with
put it
laser
in
beam.
this.
But
Yeah.
it's
Fine,
still pretty
whatever.
magic to have
Okay.
laser beams cutting the
It's
crust off
cool,
your bread.
I guess. I don't know.
I have to use a knife at home.
I
like a
feel like a
sucker.
dummy. All right. So now, okay, in our bowl, what we're going to do is we're going to make our schmear, our spread for our tea sandwiches, and it's very, very easy. We're going to use about 1/3 cup of some sour cream.
All right. See, I have no idea what even goes in a tea. I'm like, you just put the cucumbers on the bread. Like I've never.
Nah,
you know.
you got to have something, the flavor and something for the stuff to stick on. All right? Then we are going to add in some Boursin cheese. And Boursin cheese is just sort of like this kind of like fresh farmer like cheese that has like all sorts of herbs and stuff in it. It's super good. If you can't find Boursin cheese, herbed cream cheese is great. Herbed goat cheese is great. And if you're not into sour cream, mayonnaise is a great substitute as well, right? So something like that.
So Chef
right.
Stephanie said, I wish HEB made that bread last time I threw a bridal shower. Such a time saver. Yeah, because otherwise, Stephanie, you got to find a laser beam and cut your own crust
Yeah,
off your own
this
bread.
is
It's
the
ridiculous.
perfect menu for a bridal shower, a baby shower, anything. And this is fantastic bread. I love it. HEB so smart.
Hey, where'd you get that cool mixer?
We bake bread without crust. We're so smart.
I told you, we have a wizard's tower. It comes down. It's a very, very technical process.
I'm telling you, every scientific explanation, I was like a conspiracy theorist over this bread.
You should have asked me. I was like, no, I told you they have laser swords, and there are guys in there just laser swording.
Lightsabers. They cut it off with lightsabers.
Lightsabering the crust off the bread.
Okay, so 2 ounces of that cheese, the boursin, and then the sour cream, and we're just gonna mix it up.
I'm telling you, it's always dinner and a show here. Always.
Right? All right. It's okay,
Nicole,
but as
Nicole
a little...
said she likes to use goat cheese. I like goat cheese. I like that.
I like goat cheese too. In fact, I'm a big fan of goat cheese. I'm gonna find a little mini spat. I don't have one. That's okay. Okay, so I've got that there. Next, we're gonna talk about the filling. So for my filling, I'm gonna use smoked salmon. Again, if smoked salmon is not your thing, you can use turkey, ham, or you could just forego.
Just use straight cukes.
Yeah, just do cukes or veggies. And I've got 2 different varieties. I've got the everything bagel, and then I've got the
Nova.
The Nova. So if you want everything bagel, raise your hand.
I'm raising my hand right now.
Okay, so we're gonna do everything.
But
bagel.
I also like the Nova, so I'm also gonna raise my other hand. Does that?
No,
make
we're
it,
just gonna do one. So we're gonna do this
problem?
one. Okay. Ta-da! Pull this guy out. I pre-cut it, so it would be really easy for me to just go.
Slide it out just like so, and voila.
And ta-da! Just like that. That looks beautiful. I think the everything flavor is going to be really nice.
I mean, what have they not put everything bagel spice on besides your Tepache fizz? I mean, basically everything.
Pretty much everything.
They probably got some cocktails with that on there too.
I'm pretty sure it's on everything. All right, let's do a little cleanup real quick, guys. But I need this. Don't lose my spat. Okay. So we've got this. I've got a knife. We're going to cut it down the middle just for ease of preparation. What's my timer at for my eggs? Where are
Your
we?
720-second timer is now we're almost halfway through. We got 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay. So for the cucumbers, I like to use the little baby mini cucumbers. Do I have a bag up there somewhere? Can y'all see them? Let me show you. These are perfect. They're great for snacking. I love them.
Those.
They've got a really thin, tender skin, so you just cut them as is. And they're also the size of the bread, so that makes me really happy as well. And then you can do this a couple of ways. Obviously, you can cut them into rounds, like so, right?
Kinda
so
like
very
that. I feel
thin.
like it's a little more time,
Right? Or you could do
consuming.
my other favorite method, which is to slice them on a mandolin. I'll show you real quick how I do it. It's not complicated at all.
I like to use the mandolin with no guard.
I know, because you live dangerously, Tompkins. You're just
I like to
asking.
have a little fun in the kitchen every once in a while, and it's also
Did you
a great
go to
way.
the ER a lot as a kid? Was your mom constantly taking you to the ER?
I would not answer that live
Okay.
on.
All right, so
And that mandolin you can actually find at HEB. You can
it comes
use the
with a guard.
Comes
It
with the
goes
guard.
like this.
Use the guard.
You go like this, roll it over, and then you just
Unless you like to have scars on your hands, just use the.
come here, you.
Is that guard failure? What are we having?
It won't work because I'm too.
Oh yeah, it's a different.
Okay. So to use your mandolin safely, follow my lead. You hold your hand, you put the food on the palm of your hand,
Flat.
and you point your fingers towards the sky. All right.
Yeah, this is not a good way to cut your fingernails. I promise.
So we're just gonna see how my hand goes up.
Yep, away from the.
And I keep the piece of the food, whatever I'm using, on the edge so that my hand doesn't slip. And then when you get nervous, when you're like, oh, I'm getting too close and I'm scared, stop doing it.
Yeah.
Just stop, okay? And you shouldn't have to give it too much force. And then you get these beautifully. Also, if you don't have a mandolin and that scares you, you can always use a peeler, like a really good potato peeler.
There you go. So you get those real thin pieces as well.
Something like this would work beautifully.
Because you don't want in your cucumber sandwich, and this is me saying because I don't
Just
I've
like
never made
that.
a cucumber sandwich.
Same thing.
You don't want an inch piece,
I mean,
inch thick piece, crunching on a. It's meant to be more delicate.
You want them to be
and dainty.
thin and delicate, right?
All right.
So mandolin, knife,
for a
potato
friend.
peeler, either way, right? They all work, okay? So I've got all of my accoutrement. Oh, also I've got some herbs. I've got a little bit of parsley right here, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this. And if you don't want to chop your own parsley, just buy the stuff that's pre-chopped in the produce department, because we can't. The only thing that would make it easier is if we came to your house and cleaned it up.
And Charlotte will do that. We'll give you the.
Yeah,
We'll give you just send me
yep.
an address. We'll do a contest. She'll come
Yep,
pick up your
I'll
dishes.
come do your
By the way,
dishes.
at your local HEB, you can buy everything ready to go.
Yes.
In this section, the ready to eat,
Yes.
ready to go section. There's like the jalapenos, the onions, everything is there. The herbs now.
Yes.
To make it so much easier for you.
Okay, you guys, here we go. So another thing that I like to do when I make tea sandwiches, I do a whole wheat piece and I do a white piece, and it just sort of adds a little some texture and color difference, some dimension to it. And what I'm gonna do, using a spatula, we're just gonna spread our filling on both sides, right?
Okay, so you're not going. Okay, I've
make
got
two
this all wrong in
sandwiches?
my head.
We got
I had it all
time.
wrong. Just a little bit on each side, not a
little
thick.
bit, no.
Okay,
Like
I'm learning. This is all
like a bathing suit. Enough to cover the details, short enough to keep it interesting.
Probably my favorite food analogy is when you say like a bathing suit. So because I think depending on where you live,
just enough to cover the details, okay,
bathing
friends?
suits
That's all we're after
are
here.
different,
Okay.
For our
Well,
friends living
you
next to
should have seen my
beaches.
face when I figured out what a California tan was. Okay.
Yeah. I gave you.
All
I learned you good on that one. The California tea.
Yeah, you did. Okay, there we go. So then
Stephanie loves your mixing breads, along with the fact that she can now get them laser cut bread.
laser cut sharks with lasers. Okay, look, I'm gonna show you my super trick. Are y'all ready for this? Boop. Scissors.
Genius.
I know, right?
We're lasering bread. We're like cutting
Using
things with scissors to fit. I mean,
the
it's like,
future
what
is nigh.
What can't we do on this show?
I know. Look at this. Look, it's the perfect size. I love it. Look. Boop. All right. Cut our salmon. We're going to grab these pieces.
A little bit on top.
Yep. Kind of arrange them.
This is not just good for a tea party, with your kids or with, your friends or whatever. Like bridal shower. She brought up bridal shower, baby shower.
Yes.
It's like tailgating.
Tailgating.
Although the tailgating may be the only one with a cucumber sandwich, but you know what?
It's like Martha Stewart's
You'd be making friends.
Yeah.
That'd be Martha Stewart's tailgating. That'd be
All
right.
right, here we go.
I have this brisket I've smoked. Also, these beautiful tea sandwiches.
These tea sandwiches. Okay, we'll keep going this way, right?
I'd go to that tailgate.
You would?
You bet.
I like cucumbers.
Yeah.
One of my faves. Look at this. Boop, and then I'm going to get my scissors.
Love it.
And I would just put these on the next sandwich. You could do this with, you name it, chicken salad. I love it. Okay.
I like it.
I'm going to go
Or
this
everything
way.
bagel salmon.
Right?
If you're just joining us, welcome. You're in the middle of our tea party. Chef Charlotte is putting on a clinic of all the great things. We've hard-boiled some eggs. We're going to see later for our deviled eggs. Right now we're making these little cucumber tea sandwiches.
Little Sammys.
If you missed something, youtube.com/HEB it. You could check out all the content
here we
that's
go.
on there.
Okay,
That's our
you guys,
second
I did
sandwich
it.
built, done.
Boom. Okay. This is done. It could be done, but we're not going to be done. All right?
Leslie
Sure.
said she can't wait to make these all summer long. Make them, Leslie.
Leslie, if you make these, tag us in it because I want to see what you put in it. All right?
Great
I want to see
minds.
how
I was
you
just
make
gonna
it.
say,
Okay.
everything you make with us on
Yes.
YouTube, please tag HEB. Tag them.
Tag us. Let us
how you
know.
did.
Okay.
How'd it
so
go?
I'm going to cut these guys into little sailboats. All right? I always tell my kids you can have squares or you can have sailboats, and they have sailboats.
Sailboats
What did
or
your mom
squares?
call it when you were a kid? Triangles? Okay, no, I'm not even going to.
We could go there, Charlotte, but I don't know if you've got that much
even.
time. That therapy session will cost you.
Okay. So, okay, Tompkins. All right, guys. Okay, here we go. So now I've got my little sandwich, my little tea sandwich, and then I'm going to take it and I'm going to go into
So
the
we're
parsley.
dipping them in.
There we go. Oh man,
Come
you're making
on.
me look bad, sandwich. And then you
So
kind
we're
of just
dipping
put
them
it
on
in
all
that
sides. You hold them straight up.
chopped parsley, and it gives us this sort of like
Why could you not do this at a tailgating party? Come on.
we fancy.
You could.
Look, and then everybody at your
fancy.
party is going to have parsley in their teeth, but it won't matter because everyone's going to have it.
But also, you've got so
I'm
much
kidding.
booze you're going to serve at your party. Nobody's going to
It's
care
gonna be
that you
so
have a
great,
little
right?
parsley in your teeth. It's
And
all
then
good.
the other ones, we'll get another plate. We'll keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Right? Just like this. How much time do we have on those eggs?
On your eggs, chef, you have 5 seconds.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
God, I love it when a plan comes together.
And timer's off on that
Okay.
one. On your scones, you have 11 minutes. So basically, about you just have just less than 720 seconds.
Okay, so Let's put these out
I
here.
love the second thing. Second by second, moment by moment. That's how we're living.
Look how beautiful those guys are. Let's do a quick cleanup. We're going to go to our eggs. Does everybody clean as they go in their own house, or is it like a free-for-all after the meal is done?
Wait, what now? Is it a free-for-all for?
Like after the meal is done, does everybody clean as they go, or do y'all just like?
I do.
Do you?
I do that. I mean, every day we work here. You know, I mean, like I don't want to have a pile waiting for me. I just try to go work clean.
I agree. We're gonna move our bread over here.
Work fast, move fast.
Here we go. Okay.
All right, two things are away to scones. About 600 seconds left on our scones.
Look, they're getting all poofy. They're so poofy and flurfy. I love it.
We layered them. They're puffy. The butter's working. The leaveners working. The layers we did.
Doing a good thing. We're doing a good thing. Okay, let's get.
Your eggs are about to go in the ice bath, right? You have your ice bath ready to go.
My ice water melted, so I'm going to put a little bit more ice in here.
Did the ice do the thing where it solidifies into a solid block?
To a solid, yeah. All right.
Really, really great stuff.
Okay.
Coming up.
Let's grab these guys.
Eggs and Tepache fizz. So we're doing the hard-boiled eggs. We're doing the deviled eggs.
Yes, we're doing our deviled eggs. Okay. So these guys have been in here for 12 minutes. Taking these out.
Right into your ice bath.
I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to use these tongs. I have to use these
you got to use
tongs.
the K&T tongs.
I have to use the K&T. They're my sponsor.
Don't do like I do. Don't
Kitchen
use the wrong
Table
tongs.
is my sponsor. All right, so I'm taking these guys out. If you were at your house, you could just dump these in, right? You didn't have to do them one at a time. So what's going to happen is now the cooking process is going to stop because of the cold water.
All right, here you go. Ready for this?
Yeah.
Clean as I go. And the Clean Later Club. Clean as I go club. Stephanie's in that club. Carol, Debbie, Vicky, Sandy, Ariel. Clean Later. Great name, Ariel. Love that.
Who
Clean
is
Later? Linda and Augustine. Both Clean Later.
Okay.
Linda and Augustine, you're welcome to come down here every time. We'll leave you every shred.
We're going to let these sit for a minute. I want to know who is in the leave it for my partner to clean club.
Oh, can they all change? Can they all change their vote?
Club. That's the club.
I cooked it.
Poor Hunter. He has cleaned more dishes. That poor man. He's really good at it.
I can smell the scones.
Oh my God, they look beautiful.
The scones are smelling
good. They look absolutely beautiful. Okay, we're gonna get ready to make some deviled eggs, but in the meantime, I'm gonna get all of my accoutrement out, all of the things I need. I've done deviled eggs a couple of ways, but I found this really cool board while I was shopping the seasonal aisle at HEB during
Yeah, full
Easter.
disclaimer, I also asked where this board came from, so just know next year when it comes around, you'll see great things. Like when this is coming up summer, when you go to your local HEB, you're walking the GM section, you see something, chances are it might be a seasonal item. Pick it up, don't wait till later because you'll do what I did. You'll be like, why didn't I go grab this great board during the Easter holiday? Look at that
Look how
board.
cute this is. Okay, I know it was for
awesome.
Easter, and I'm sorry, but it's darling, and I love it. But look how you cut the eggs. They hold, look. They're meant to hold the egg like this. I love it. I love it. At first, I thought it was like a shot glass board or something. I was like, that's a lot of shot glasses.
You could use it as that, right?
I didn't know what it was for. And it was like, oh, it is for our eggs.
But you cut the eggs across the equator.
I did.
I
did. You're absolutely
which I think
right.
is different for some folks.
Yes,
probably.
and sometimes, okay, so typically the traditional way to do the egg would be, you know, longitudinally across the, we knew what it was last week.
Across the egg shape, across the oval.
Prime meridian.
Oh,
it's the prime meridian. You
off.
signed up to watch me make scones, and I'm giving you geography lessons. Yay for us.
Prime meridian.
The prime meridian. So the equator is this way, the prime meridian is this way, right?
Every time I
but I thought
every
this
time
was
I come
fun.
to this class, I learn something.
Okay, so what we're going to do to make these guys is we are going to find me a clean bowl.
Clean bowl.
Ah,
Do you have a clean bowl?
I got one right here.
There we go.
Okay.
This is called mise en place. When you do it.
I'm sorry. All of our bowls are holding avocados and variegated lemons from our class that we did the other day.
I had a lot of avocados I had to hold, okay? Mise. We had
Hang me out to dry,
so
Scott
many things
Tompkins.
to mise.
Okay. Mise en place. And in case you guys don't know what mise en place is, that means everything in its place and a place for everything. And as a chef, you should have all of your mise en place together so that in the middle of your virtual cooking class, you don't have to stop
your partner
and
doesn't
look
go,
for a bowl.
"Where's your
and then your
mise?"
co-host doesn't hang you out to dry.
That's called.
I need a support
That's
group
called when the bus comes by. You just go, hey, watch out, watch out. Oh, they want to be right here.
Okay, so what we're going to do, I showed you guys, we did the 12-minute egg, and I've got some 12-minute eggs that I made right here, and I'm going to cut some open for you guys so you guys can see what it looks like. And then in a second, I'll bring those guys over here and I'll show you what those look like, and we'll
and you're going to use a
peel.
pastry bag. I just want to say,
Yes.
as you're putting on your dainty,
My
I
safety-
love
my
the
safety
purple
gloves?
gloves.
Yeah.
The K&T
Yeah.
icing bags.
Tell us about it.
This little thing,
The
these
piping
guys here,
bags.
the piping bags,
Yes.
are fantastic. As you're learning to bake or you're doing these new things,
Are you
you walk
jealous
into
of
an
mine?
HBGM section and you're going to be amazed. These disposable icing bags,
God, you
aka
guys.
pastry bags, to put your filling in that you'll see Charlotte do. They're amazing.
What? You know what? I know where my bowl is. This is
Carol said she
embarrassing.
has a mise en place shirt. Carol, will you get me a mise en place shirt? I'm extra large. I'll take 2 of them. I'm a t-shirt wearing fool. Leslie
I had my
excited
bowl
about
the
your
whole
egg peeling
time,
tutorial.
Scott Tompkins. I just forgot it was in there. I had my mise en place.
You
So
did.
here are
See
my
that?
egg yolks that I have. Okay. So here's our 12-minute egg, and you can see absolutely perfect. There's no, like, we've got really
You
good
don't get the-
texture. It's nice and creamy. There's no extra, like, that gray
Gray,
film.
green,
Because
yep.
that's something that people worry about. How do I hard-boiled eggs and I don't get that? What is that gray film? What is that gray line in my eggs? It's basically like you cooked it so far that, like, some of the sulfur has come out. No big deal. Let me just tell you right here. I want y'all to look at my eyes. If you boil these things to kingdom come, who cares? You are making
Yeah.
a deviled egg. You're going to put some mustard, some mayo, salt, pepper, and paprika on those bad boys. Nobody will know. And I guarantee you, everybody has eaten a hard-boiled egg, and somebody's grandmother has cooked those things for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Nobody.
No, my mother used to
never
cook
gonna
them for
know.
3 hours. I was
right.
convinced she was trying to kill me, but it was, like
Yeah.
but they were cooked. There was
Okay.
no doubt they were cooked.
I'm telling you, nobody is going to know. All right? There you go. We're just going to plop that guy in there. We're going to move to the next one. Also, y'all want another pro tip?
Yep.
We sell hard-boiled eggs already made.
Yeah.
You could just, if you don't even want to mess with it, just buy an egg already made.
That's just savvy shopping right there.
I'm telling
The,
you, it's being resourceful.
I love the way you're cutting these because you get more filling in them.
Yes.
And I really wish I'd have bought that board.
Look at that.
I'm having a lot of
Boop. Pull that
buyer's
guy
remorse.
out. And then what I'm going to do, so I have these leftover pieces. So these can either go into a salad, your mouth, whatever. But I chop these bad boys up. I'll probably get shunned for this, but I put them in my filling.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
Who would shun
Because-
you when it's all egg anyway?
Yeah, it's
It
delicious,
sounds like you
right?
just added like a shoe leather to it or something.
You could essentially add everything. So I'm going to add in a little bit of mayo and a little bit of mustard. My recipe says just yellow mustard, and that's homage to my mom because that's how she makes them, and that's what she likes in them.
Willard
Yep,
does the yellow mustard?
Willard likes the yellow mustard. She also does dry mustard, too.
Well, I
gonna
like that
put-
tip. Pat said put some jalapenos in those bad boys. Chef.
Pat, coming to your house. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add in our nutty
All right, tell me about this.
Our
Quest
nutty-
for Texas Best.
Quest for this is the Moon Family Foods, right? And they won our Quest for Texas Best, which is like the best Texas has to offer. So, products made by
Small
Texans for
businesses,
Texans,
yep.
small businesses. And it's pecans and carrot in like a cream cheese like base. And it's amazing. It has this beautiful like pecan note to it and the sweetness from the carrot. This was actually a perfect item for Easter. And I'm sorry that I got it to you guys so late. But I feel like in South Texas, or just in the South, a deviled egg goes everywhere, right?
If you heard Charlotte say carrots and pecans, and you in your mind you're like, I'm
did.
going to die because I'm allergic to both those things, don't worry. You can still use this exact same recipe.
Yes.
Just omit that. Add hummus, add avocado, add our store-bought
Jalapenos,
guacamole.
whatever. All right?
Totally work. You got another one, huh?
I do. I got 2. You jealous? Bet you
I
are.
mean, I like the kitchen tools.
Now we're just going to whip these guys up. This guy has some like,
It's got some HP. You got to be careful with that.
we could run a boat on this thing.
I use it as a neck massager.
Yeah,
Put
come
it
over
right
here.
in
Let's
your-
try it.
Well, you don't believe me? I just put it right on the other side of it. You just kind of just.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
never
remember
have I
when you
done that.
threw that thing at me and I caught it? Oh, I thought I was going to die.
That's my blue Thermapin, man. Thing's been with me everywhere.
Ugh.
I was nervous it was going to see its last day today. Good catch, chef.
Okay, Scott Tompkins, do you subscribe to the black pepper or to the white pepper in deviled eggs, or do you do black pepper? Salt. I think salt in there.
I don't make a lot of deviled eggs. I would say I'd
Okay.
probably do whichever one was available. But I do love white pepper. I'm a white pepper fan.
Okay.
So I'm down with whatever you want to do. I like the
Two-
white pepper note.
Yeah.
It's very peppery.
Okay. So to me, this is the perfect consistency. I love this consistency. I love where it is. It's kind of firm. It's not too wet.
Creamy.
It's creamy. This is what I like. Let me check on these guys. I have a feeling. Ooh, we've got a really caramel note on top.
It's got 43 seconds.
Okay.
Out of the 1,500 seconds it's been in there, it only has 38 remaining.
Okay. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go for those 30 seconds. I'm gonna grab my spatula. Here we go. I think this is a beautiful consistency. This would be great to pipe. It has a little bit of texture to it. If you want to go a little bit further, go further. If you even want to go so far as to put it in your Cuisinart, like food
process
processor,
it, buzz it up.
I totally support that too. You'll get an even lighter, airier filling, but I'm good like this. Typically what I do at this point is I like to put this into a piping bag, so like our disposable icing bags.
Yep.
We finally have them. I've been telling people to use a resealable Texas Tough bag for years.
now we have those.
These, right?
Chef, your timer just went off,
okay.
number one. And number two, do you have a napkin? Because Stephanie said she's salivating.
I just
need
do
a paper
this.
towel.
Here's my sleeve. Okay, so I usually put it into a piping bag, like so, our disposable guy. I have piping tips just because I have those lying around my house. And this is so easy. Watch this, guys. I'm going to show y'all real quick. So you just go like this into the boop.
I so regret not buying that now. I like note to self, guys. When you see those seasonal items, pick them up.
So just like
Great
something I want everybody to know, and they're also great if you do it this way. When you're using a piping bag, I don't know if this is common knowledge or whatever, the pressure, right, or the force comes from the back of your hand, from the back of the bag, and you tighten it up to give it that force, to give it that pressure, and then you're not squeezing with your hand like this. You're just gently, you're using the pressure of the bag, and then boop, just like that.
Squeeze it.
How easy is this? Oh my God, I could literally pipe this into my mouth right now, but I won't because
hungry.
That would scare people. I'm gonna
Well, you
put
do have
right
gloves
there.
on. You just have to change out your gloves. So you're good.
I do. Okay, just like that. Now, I do have some dill that I saved from Scott's class the other day. So you could use some of the leftover parsley from your
Man, I love dill.
from your
I love it.
tea sandwiches, or that dill, just like that.
Can you roll your tea sandwiches in a little bit of chopped fresh dill?
I bet you could. I don't see why you couldn't. Dill would be really great with that
The cucumbers?
There you go, Tompkins.
You can smell your scones.
It's all for you, right here. This is
Fresh
all for
dill,
you.
those are mine with the fresh dill.
That's
There you
all
go.
for you. Okay. And look how cute. Oh, wait, you lost your crown. There you go. How cute those guys are. That board is something else, man. Ugh, I
telling you.
love it. Okay, again, we're going to do a quick little cleanup.
And also, that board is also great for for if you need for just home protection. You know what I mean? Like for a good solid piece of wood that you need to if
No, violence is never the
come
answer,
in
Scott
or,
Tompkins. Okay, let's take these guys out.
didn't say violence.
Sounded like violence. Y'all,
Well,
my oven
if
is
you've got
so
the
hot.
neighborhood cat coming around, you need to or the raccoons or who knows what you got coming over. I don't know what people have coming over.
Look how
It's good
beautiful
to
these
have.
guys are. See, we got this really caramel thing going from that cream. These are going to be good. I'm going to let these cool for a few minutes before we plate these. And in the meantime, come with me.
So let them rest, cool them off.
Right? While that's happening,
You got to make your fizz.
I also got to make my butter.
You do have
First,
to
we're
make
going to
your
make our butter. This is our basil balsamic
Balsamic.
butter. I'm using Central Market, balsamic vinegar of Modena. That's how that.
You want to use a balsamic vinegar that's a little more aged, right?
Aged,
So it's not
yes.
quite as tangy. It's a little
Yep,
more
it's got a little
sweetness
bit
than
of
sour.
that sweet note to it. Now I'm also, because I'm hardcore, I'm going to add a little bit of strawberry preserve to that. Central Market strawberry preserves. And then, y'all stand by.
We needed a third mixer.
I needed a third. You'd think this was my first
boy,
class,
oh
huh?
boy. Third mixer
You
in
guys,
the mix. Do you have a
you
whisk, Chip? Can I
guys.
get you a whisk? I've already
You know what,
given
though?
you
I'm
my
making up with
thermometer.
it. I'm making up for it with humor.
There's our while we're waiting, take a look at these great products and don't forget you can everything on HEB.com that you find on Facebook that you can see that you can get this shoppable content. You can click on those items right there. Look at all that great kitchen and table
Please
stuff.
enjoy
So
this music
fantastic.
while you wait.
Please enjoy this song by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I'm going to sing to you.
Go ahead.
Nope, not going to do it. Not going to sing it.
Which one were you thinking
That
of?
just, everybody be like,
Everybody
I
name
gotta
the
go.
song Tompkins was thinking about. Okay, there we go. Watch how easy this is.
Now we're ready. Strawberry balsamic butter.
Come on.
Telling you, quick work. So it doesn't really take a lot of time to make the butter, right?
No,
you had some
compound
room
butter,
temperature butter. You added some stuff to it.
You just want to make sure you have room
You know.
temperature everything. Right? It all
30
comes
seconds
together.
later, you got some butter.
You want to lick the beater? That was like my favorite.
I would say throw it to me, but that would end badly probably.
That was my favorite thing as a kid, where I would get to
Yeah, cookie dough, absolutely.
whatever. And we're just going to take this. Oh my God, it smells like strawberries and balsamic and heaven, and I love
Stephanie
it.
said, OMG, the level of flavor in these scones. You're right.
I know it.
I'm guessing OMG stands for O Magna Gouda. O Magna.
That's it.
O Magna,
That's
is that
it.
what that
That's
is? What's
exactly
the-
what that
I don't
is.
know that acronym.
Okay. Set that aside. I remember now. I'm going to let those guys cool just a little bit longer if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah,
And
let's
I'm
make
gonna
a cocktail.
I'm going to make a cocktail. Okay.
Tepache. I'm really excited to see how this goes.
Tepache.
I'm not a big cocktail
So
person.
let me get my ingredients, my mise en place.
Tepache and elderberry.
Okay.
Obviously, we don't sell booze or hard alcohol at HEB, but you just go to your friendly neighborhood liquor store, you can grab the elderberry. But you really don't need the elderberry. I mean, yes, you have it in there, but the real thing is the Tepache and, of course, a little Prosecco and this trick you're going to show us.
Okay, so I was gonna make this like really fancy cocktail, and I was gonna do a thing, but then I remembered that I did that cool cocktail class, and if you want to see that cocktail class, you can go back and check it out on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/HEB.
That's right.
Right. So I was like, and then I thought to myself, if I was having a brunch, right, do I want to spend the entire brunch making cocktails for my friends? No. I would like to spend this entire brunch drinking cocktails with my friends.
Yeah, and
all
walking
right?
around with parsley in your teeth and the CT
So,
sandwiches. I'm into it. Let's do it.
As per the usual, I found this little guy at HEB, and it's a mason jar drink
jar.
dispenser, right? And I was like, this would be really great because I could just make this batch cocktail, and it's super easy, right? So the recipe is 6 ounces of Prosecco to 2 ounces of Tepache to 1. So it's a 1 part. What is this stuff called again? Saint Germain.
Saint
Elderflower.
Germain.
Yeah, right? So I was like, you know what? I got this, right? I'm just going to do a 1-to-1, all right?
As you're doing this, Debbie wants to know, how would you make this into a mocktail without the alcohol? What
That's
would
a
you
great question.
substitute?
So you could use the Tepache, and then you could do just like a sparkling water. So any flavor you like. You could do a lime sparkling water, a coconut sparkling water, and that's going to give you that balance. Or you could just enjoy the Tepache with a couple of blackberries. We also sell some elderberry, elderflower tonics and
there you go.
mixers
say,
in our mixer department. And
Saint Germain kind of tastes like lychee a little bit. So
yeah,
maybe
it
use,
has
like,
that
lychee syrup.
super floral
Very-
note to it,
it's really
right?
good.
Oh, I love kombucha. It's beautiful, right? And so in a French 75, you've got the champagne, the juice, right? And then that. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see me do the vortex?
It's the vortex.
I'm so good at that. All right. And then
A little
now,
Saint Germain. Now, where
Yes,
did the
a little
jigger
Saint
go?
Germain.
Where's
So,
your jigger for the?
I've
now,
got
the
it right
jigger
here.
you can
So-
get. You can get this little. This is like a professional bar jigger.
it is. So this
that
is
you can
a
get.
2-ounce pour. Saint Germain is not one of those things where it's like, oh, a little
More is
bit is
more.
good, so a lot must be better. No, a lot is too much, right? So you want to start with like 2 ounces, and if that tastes good, then go a little bit more because sometimes it can become super
That's a really good
overpowering.
note because I think most people be like, "This smells really good. It tastes really good," but
Right?
you could really ruin it
So
quickly.
I think we'll do 2 shots.
2 shots. That bar jigger you can find at your local HEB and your beer and wine
Right?
department. They have all those great cocktail and
Absolutely
bar
perfect.
supplies.
Okay,
No need to
so
go to a
to keep
specialty
this
store.
bad boy cold, I'm just going to add in my frozen blackberries, right? Just like this. This
That's it,
actually,
huh?
I
Just-
would put 2. I would go double time on this. You having a couple friends over,
Yeah.
do this 2 times, fill this guy up, and then you could serve it in your little, like,
Now, here's a question for you.
Yes.
Could you make this double batch? Keep it in the fridge. Is anything going to happen to it? Is it all
I mean,
good to go?
it's going to eventually go flat, and we'll lose some of its
But you
flavor,
can probably do it overnight and it'd probably be okay.
Yeah, it might lose some of
There you
its
go.
fizz if that doesn't bother you, but yeah, why not, right? Okay, I'm going to grab these scones, my scones.
Get your scones.
Y'all ready for this? Oh, that sounded exciting.
Oh, sorry. You didn't hear everybody. There were
Enthusiastic,
people
y'all.
screaming. Yes, I didn't want to yell into the
Okay, here we go.
microphone. I'm excited for the scones.
You are?
We're about to put a big bow on this this tea party
Yeah,
right
we
here.
are.
You got your cocktail, you got your tea sandwiches, your deviled eggs,
These guys,
and now
yes.
the scone
gonna-
or
scones.
scone, however you like to say it. I don't think we ever got anybody from England to weigh in on this.
Oh my
They
gosh.
smell great.
They do. Again, my oven has a couple of hot spots, but it's okay. Just gonna put these guys on
I
here.
love that serving dish as well. Is that the acacia or acacia wood?
I think it's acacia, but I don't know. Acacia wood. These guys, you can also, like, if you're like, oh, these aren't dry enough, you can leave these out overnight, and then they'll totally have that, like.
I would just brush straight melted butter over those as they came out of the oven.
You
to
would?
soak up the butter.
Oh,
You
for
betcha.
sure. Let's put this guy like that. You go like that, mister. Okay. And then we got our butter right here.
Butter's on there, ready to roll.
Should I put some herb? Should we get some basil? To
I mean, you
stick
may as
on
well,
there?
right, to complete the whole picture here.
Just to kind of like, ta-da! I don't know. It kind of looks like a big green monster
there's our tea
coming
party,
out of
right?
there. Right? Does it look like a big green monster coming out? Oh well, it doesn't matter. It's okay. It's all perfect. I love it. I'm gonna put one more on, and that is it, y'all. We did it. We're done. I didn't. Y'all want to see me peel the egg? Is that a thing?
I think so. I think we started doing it and then we left off.
Do y'all
want
want to see that? Because I'll do it if y'all want to see the egg.
While you're getting all that stuff set, just a reminder. We
We're
thank you so
done.
much for checking out the class. Don't forget, you can always watch past episodes. We've been doing this for almost 2 years. All the great content's on there. Simply go to our YouTube channel. We put up a couple times. YouTube.com/HEB. Those of you watching on Facebook, don't forget the shoppable content. Simply click and buy. And this is the egg peel trick.
This
Here
is
we
the
go.
egg peel. I don't like to let them wait too long, because if you wait too long, they're going to get harder to peel. So you want to do them in the few minutes
So
before.
they just cool, just slightly cool
Yep.
the touch.
So what happens is that the white shrinks back up, solidifies, and pulls away from the membrane of the shell. Another pro tip is if you add in a little salt while they're boiling, the science behind that is that it starts to break down the shell a little bit and makes them a little bit easier to peel. I pulled the audience on this. I went to the depths of the egg boiling. See, look how easy this is to peel. Also I want to know.
Older eggs work better than
What?
fresh eggs.
Yeah.
Older eggs work
This is
better
true,
than fresh eggs.
because they've already started to. Okay. here
Not
we go.
rotten eggs, not zombie eggs, just a little bit older eggs.
No rotten eggs. Okay, here we go. There it is. Beautiful. Let's cut this guy in half just so we can see.
See, I'm a big fan of. I go mine to where my yolk is just gelled. It's like an 8 minute.
You're an 8-minute egg?
Yeah. I like
That's
just
too.
gelled.
Look at that. 12-minute. Perfect. I love it. I hope you guys picked something up. I hope you guys learned just one tiny thing. Tompkins, tell us what's happening next.
What's happening next week? Traditional recipes from around the globe with some guy named Chef Scott. No idea who that is, but I hope it's going to be a good class.
I know that guy, and I'm really excited to join you for that. From my kitchen to yours, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.